Welcome back to Keeping It Real Estate with Azra. We've been discussing the buying process in detail, and so far we found the perfect home and sealed the deal. So what's next? We get asked by many of our viewers, what is the importance of hiring a lawyer and when should we actually retain the services of a lawyer? Well, today we have with us Neetu Zoe from Juriscorp Law Offices. Welcome, Neetu.
Thank you.
So she's going to answer some questions for us. First of all, Neetu, what does it cost to hire a lawyer?
So typically it can cost anywhere between $1,200 to $1,500 when buying a home. And this involves essentially two components. There's the legal fees, which reflects the work the lawyer is going to do for you, as well as, in addition to that, the disbursements, which includes such costs as title transfer, mortgage registration, as well as any searches we're going to do for you, title searches, tax searches, any out-of-pocket expenses, as well as GST.
Perfect. Another common question we want to know about is closing costs. What are closing costs and how much can you expect to keep aside for closing costs?
So closing costs include your legal fees, home inspection. Home inspection, of course, is important to ensure your house is in good shape before buying, as well as any adjustments. Adjustments such as property taxes or homeowners association fees that the seller may have paid past the closing date, then the buyer is to reimburse the seller accordingly.
Okay. What is the difference between a real property report with compliance and title insurance? Is one better than the other, or is it better to have both? Please explain.
So a real property report with compliance essentially is required to be provided to the buyer by the seller, as it is part of the residential purchase contract in Alberta. And really, real property report reflects what's on the property, the structures on the property, whether it be fences, where the house is situated, where the detached garage is. And compliance is what the city gives if it meets all of the bylaws of the city.
So that means that it complies within the city requirements.
Exactly. And what title insurance is, title insurance can cover you in many different ways. Real property report and compliance is something you do want to receive as a buyer, but often maybe a seller does not have that available to them, or they don't want to provide that to you. They can offer you title insurance. So what title insurance would do with respect to the real property report and compliance is it ensures that if there are any unknown defects, for example, a deck that does not comply and you as a buyer did not know about it, title insurance would cover the cost of any permits and such.
Okay, so permits are covered as well, right?
Permits, if you're not aware that those are something that need to be in place. Having said that, the compliance does not replace the real property report and compliance, and I do always suggest that you do have a current real property report and compliance for the city, as well as title insurance can be an addition to that, because title insurance covers many things. It also covers such things as mortgage fraud, or if anything pops onto title during the process that shouldn't be there, it can cover the cost of removing that as well.
So it's a good idea to have title insurance and real property report, but either or will suffice.
It will suffice, yes, but I always do recommend a real property report and compliance compliance that's updated and current is really important.
That's true. What about condo docs? A lot of our buyers are first-time home buyers, and they get this big, huge package of condo documents, which nobody knows what it's about. Who reviews them? Is that the job of a lawyer when they retain your services to review the condo documents? And what can you learn from them?
Okay, so typically, yes, a lawyer can review condominium documents. Definitely, that is a service that we can provide. You can also go through a condominium document review company. They're also a great resource to review those documents. Essentially, what the condominium documents, what they do is they give you as a buyer the ability to assess the stability of the condominium.
So if it's a good condo, how strong it is?
Exactly. And so there are many documents that are provided in your condominium package. For example, financial statements, budget, the reserve fund study, all of these types of documents. And some of which, they give you an idea exactly what the stability of the condo corporation is, as well as if there's any, let's say, for example, financial issues. What if the roof needs to be repaired? You're buying an older condo. Is there enough money in the reserve fund to pay for such costs? What if there's bylaws that don't meet your lifestyle? What if you want to have a pet in your
Yeah.
condo and that's not available to you in that particular condominium?
Well, that was great information, Neetu. One more thing, what is a holdback and what is the importance of having a holdback?
So essentially a holdback is a way to deal with matters that are already within the contract. For example, if there's any outstanding items that were to be dealt with on the property, for example, a ceiling fan that needed to be fixed or a deck that was going to be fixed, those and they're not able to be fixed in time for closing for the date of possession, a holdback can be used as a tool to ensure that the seller completes those items even after closing. For example, if the ceiling fan was going to cost about $2,000, we could ask the seller's lawyer to hold back that amount of funds from the sale proceeds until those items were fixed. So it's a very important tool to be used if there are outstanding items.
And is that something that we need to have pre-written in the contract, or say if we do a walkthrough and we see that, hey, the house is a mess and there's garbage lying all over the place, and we let our lawyer know this is not done, would that constitute a holdback?
Well, I'm not so sure if it was something as a cleanup that would constitute a holdback, but let's say it is the day before closing and there's some kind of, a big amount of damage. Definitely, we could do a holdback. Or we could say, you know what, we're not going to release funds until you go and clean up that garbage.
Yes.
Because something like that is just, it's not nice or acceptable.
And it's already in the purchase contract that the property needs to be in the same condition as used at the time of offer. So I guess cleaning up and garbage removal should
be a part of it, and definitely something to keep in mind. Reasonable wear and tear is part of buying a second-hand home, you could say, somewhere with someone who's already lived in.
Another big thing we get asked all the time, I've got my possession, what time can I get my keys? I've got my movers ordered, what time can I move in? It's such an exciting time.
Yes, and that's like the number one question that we get. Definitely don't expect to have keys at 9 o'clock in the morning. Generally speaking, the real estate transaction is expected to close by 12 p.m. on the day of closing. However, in terms of when you're going to receive keys will happen sometime after that. If everything runs smoothly, maybe by 1 or 2 o'clock you'll receive keys. Sometimes things get delayed and you may receive keys later at the end of the day. So I do suggest at the end of the day, book your moving vans or the next day.
Or the next day, yes.
You don't want to be there and standing there and upset paying all these fees to your moving van people and being frustrated.
And no keys, yes.
Yeah, so I always say do it the next day.
Perfect. A big question we get asked all the time is the difference in pricing. A lot of times clients will say, oh, this lawyer is charging me $495 plus disbursements. Well, actually, they don't even see the disbursements. They say they're costing $495. Why is this lawyer charging me $1,200? Can you explain the difference to us? What is the difference in price?
Well, essentially, if someone is quoting you $495, that's probably what they're only charging you for the legal fee. They're not taking into account the additional fees, the disbursement costs, which we've discussed. That would be the land title fees or out-of-pocket expenses and all of that. So essentially, they're just showing you part of the fee. The total cost would be $495 plus disbursements plus GST. So that is a different figure than the $495.
And so that's what gets you to the about $1,200 to $1,500 price range.
Exactly.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much for the clarification, Neetu. I think we all really needed it. Thank you so much for being with us and answering all our questions. And if you viewers have any other questions or need more information, please comment below and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for our next video.